So the Heroes of Mavia global release is right around the corner. And if you want to be successful at this game, you need to set some goals. And those goals are related to knowledge of the gameplay. So as you can see down below, we have heroes, troops, buildings, and your base. Those are the four things that you're going to need to fully understand if you want to make the most out of this game. So for heroes, in the private beta, we only have one hero available. That is Mira right here. But at global launch, we'll have more heroes. And I would just assume that even more heroes would come over time. So these are used to defend your base, but also to use to attack when you're raiding someone else's base. You're going to need to figure out which of these heroes fits your style. And so here's what you need to look at. So if you can see down here, you have the favorite target. So Mira doesn't have a favorite target, but you might have one that likes to target defense structures, which might be good if you're trying to wipe out those defense structures early. Or you might have another hero that wants to go right for the resources. So if you're in there where you don't care to get all 3 stars from that battle, but you just want to extract as much of that gold and oil as possible, you might want to lean towards that hero that goes straight for resources. And then also down here, you got damage type. So this is single. So you could have some that have like blast damage that cover a bigger area. So the next one here, you have target. One of these is the target when you're attacking another base, and the other one's a target as you're defending your own base. For Mira here is ground and air. And then the speed is 1.5. So I believe that means, 1.5 of the segments on the base per second. And you can also see in here the damage per second and the hit points. As you increase the levels on this, they get stronger and get more hit points. Now this was just highlighting one hero. In future videos, I will highlight more heroes as we learn more. So for troops, you can see behind my head here, there are a few that are out in this open beta. You have like your basic warrior, you have an archer, another one that's going to take a lot of damage. And then this one that I'm highlighting here, the flying whale, is obviously going to be a flying troop. So when you're attacking other bases, this is going to be a troop that's going to fly over those resources and start attacking the defensive structures right away. And knowing this is important when you're designing your own base as well. Because if you have a defensive structure that's aimed towards flying troops, and because you know that this flying whale isn't going to attack your resources, it might be more important to put that air targeting structure close to other defensive structures instead of closer to your resources, because you know that this flying whale isn't going after your resources. And again, you want to learn in here is damage type. So this has an area damage, what it's targeting, its speed 1.6, and its unit size, which is how many you can bring to battle with you. And for example, the warrior here counts as 1 unit size. So if this whale is 5, you have that choice of either 1 whale or 5 of these warriors. And then again, you're looking at the damage per second. This is only a stage 1, it's 25. And then hit points and the cost it's going to take you to recruit it to your team for an attack. So your buildings or your structures here. This is a level 1 turret. You can see behind my head here that there are quite a bit out in this private beta. In future videos, I'll be highlighting all of these. The damage type is single. It's going to target ground attacks, and it has a range of 9. At level 1, it's hitting 10 damage per second, and as you increase the level, that will increase as well. And I'm working on getting the numbers of the DPS and the hit points from levels 1 to 10 or as high as they go for all of these structures. And if I can get my hands on that, I can definitely give these structures a more in-depth look. And then finally, you have your base. I just took a screenshot of mine right here. I'm still working it up after the first reset in the private beta, but you're gonna have to set a goal for what you want to accomplish with your base. So a couple different things you can think of is like a bait and conquer, where for example, on this one, you have the gold in that corner and you want them to come towards that corner first. So you're kind of baiting them in there, but then you have some defensive structures that can help take them out right there to hopefully prevent them from getting any stars and defeating your base. Or you could set it up like a resource vault where you put all of your resources right in the middle, surrounded by your defensive structures to try to conserve as much of that, oil and gold as you possibly can. And if your goal is to prevent them from getting any stars, or maybe prevent them from just getting that perfect 3 stars, maybe you put your resources around the outside. You let them take those resources while you start picking them off one by one. And yeah, maybe they take some of your gold and your oil, but you win the match, and maybe that helps you get a little bit more ruby. All right, so this was just a quick overview of some of the goals you should have going into this game. Again, the open beta is coming out soon. As I can get my hands on more information, especially once the global release happens, I'm going to be making more videos and touching on all of these heroes, structures, troops. I'm going to be learning this along the way just like you, but hopefully I can make it a little easier on you. Thanks for watching. Catch you next time.